Hey guys, welcome to another Two Pets Tech video. In this episode, I'm just going to discuss why I purchased the Mini Liplay instead of one of the other Instax cameras. Basically, the one I'm looking at today is comparing it with the Mini 9, which is the entry-level Instax camera. So the Mini Liplay retails for $230 Australian, whereas the Mini 9 I've been seeing it for just under $90. So in comparison, what do you get for the extra $100 plus? Well, the main reason why I got the Mini Liplay is that it's more than just a camera. It's also a portable printer. And so when you think of it that way, Fuji also sells a dedicated printer. It's called the Fuji Instax SP2, and that retails for about $130, $150. So if you think about it, a Mini 9 plus a Fuji SP2 printer is actually about the same price or more expensive than just getting a Mini Liplay. So you get two devices in one, which is pretty good value, I think. The other thing is that unlike the analog Instax cameras, which all have fixed focus lenses and use zone focusing, so you have a macro mode which gives you a zone focus of 0.3 to 0.6 meters or something like that. The Instax Mini Liplay is actually an autofocus camera, which means that you have a better chance of getting sharp photos, and it can actually focus as close as 10 centimeters, which is pretty close, which is I think 3 times as close as the Instax analog cameras. So again, going back to the Mini 9 specifically, the Mini 9 shutter speed is fixed to a 60th of a second. So that's quite restrictive, because that means that every time you try to take a photo, you could introduce the possibility of blurriness, motion blur, because it's very hard to stop motion, even just casual people standing in front of a camera at 1/60th of a second. Whereas when the Instax Mini Liplay, you've got, I think, something like 1/4 of a second to up to 1/1600th of a second, if that's even a real number. So basically the Instax is more flexible in that way. In terms of size, I believe the Instax Mini Liplay is smaller in terms of width and height. And I think that's just because part of it is the Mini 9 is trying to be cute as well, so it probably has a lot more bulk just to make it look friendlier and fuzzier or something. I don't know. But I like the compactness of this camera. And being a hybrid digital camera / printer, you do all your composition with the back screen instead of a optical viewfinder like in the Mini 9 and the other Instax cameras. And what that means is that you don't have the issue of parallax, where what you're seeing through the optical viewfinder isn't actually what you're framing up or what the camera is going to eventually take a photo of. So composing through the lens means that you're actually seeing what the camera sees, which means that composition is going to be more accurate. I mean, the screen's not great, but it's good enough for composing. And finally, over time, I think the Instax Mini Liplay will be better value and is the more economical choice, because with the analog Instax cameras, as soon as you press that button, you're using up one piece of film. And if that appeals to you, that's fine. But what I find is I usually have to take a photo more than once to sort of get a feel for the composition and what I'd like the image to look like. And I think that could get quite expensive with the analog ones. Whereas with the Instax, because I get to choose what I print, I could sort of try a few things out. So I get all the benefits of digital in that, you know, it's very cheap to take multiple photos, and once I find an image I like, then I can print that. Alright, so that was my brief reasoning for choosing the Instax Mini Liplay over something cheaper in the Instax line like the Mini 9. Let me know your thoughts, let me know if you agree or disagree, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.